We all know that Donald Trump's health is very poor, to put it mildly. Uh, the White House knows that Donald Trump's health is poor, yet they continue to tell us that he is one of the healthiest people that's ever lived on the face of the earth. But according to an analyst, a foreign policy analyst by the name of David Rothkopf, even Trump himself seems to know that his health is pretty bad. But not just that it's bad. According to Rothkopf, Trump may sense that the end is near, and that would explain some of the weirder moves that he has made recently, like wanting to potentially rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Center, calling the Institutes for Peace the Trump Institute for Peace, which this is the man who is currently threatening to go start invading a foreign country that is not hostile to the United States. So naming the Institute of Peace after yourself is a little weird, but Trump is thinking more and more legacy, long term, than he ever has with anything other than money, of course. And according to Rothkopf, it's likely because Trump thinks his days are numbered. More on that in just a second, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. By now, you know Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed, but almost no one's reporting how ICE will get nearly $40 billion of our tax money each year, making it the most heavily funded law enforcement agency in U.S. history. That's more money than most nations spend on their entire military. So much of our media is either missing the worst of this bill or twisting the language so you think it's all in your best interest. But we've seen the ICE raids ramping up. Now Trump's openly threatening to deport U.S. citizens. This should be the biggest story in America, yet it's buried. Making ground news essential right now is what all of this is doing. They're the only tool I've found exposing these blind spots in the media. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, then analyzing just how far-right and radical each unbiased source actually is, you get way more context than you ever would anywhere else. If we're being honest, we've seen Trump's power grabs throughout history. They said never again, and that means never again everywhere. And right now, it's happening here. So if you want to stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply finding the stories missing from your news feeds, Ground News has you covered. Their app and website is a smarter, more reliable way to stay informed at a time when MAGA is banking on us to stay distracted. So I've partnered with them to get you 40% off the same Vantage plan that I have been using. That comes out to $5 a month for unlimited access to everything I've mentioned and so much more. Just go to ground.news/Farron or scan the QR code to subscribe. With at least another 4 years of this, we can't afford to miss these details. So David Rothkopf, again, foreign policy analyst, spoke to the Daily Beast recently about Donald Trump and his failing health. Here is what Rothkopf had to say about why Trump is doing what he's doing right now. They actually are serious issues because they are evidence that Donald Trump is at the end of his story. They are signs to the world that this is not a vigorous person. This is not a person whose biography is about their future. It's about their past, and everybody can see that in Washington. He then references the meeting last week where Rubio was praising him and Trump sleeping next to him saying, quote, Marco Rubio is sitting there going, the president is the most vigorous, brilliant man ever. And Trump's like passed out next to him, If you're watching his Band-Aids and you're watching his cankles, the number of things he wants to name after himself, I think, is a good indicator of how ill he thinks he is. Because this is just him looking for some legacy. It's just him saying, well, that could make me immortal. Because I think he realizes that he is shuffling off his mortal coil sooner rather than later. Now, a couple things here. One, obviously Trump's health is in the toilet. He is 79 years old. He's going to be 80 this coming summer. At that age, whether you're the most healthy person in the world or somebody who's got one foot in the grave, doesn't matter. You do start to think about legacy. So it could just be his age that is causing him to think, oh, I need to rename government buildings after me so that it lives forever. I need to build a giant ballroom that's going to have my name all over it so that that lives forever because I won't. That could be age related. Trump could still go on another 20, 30 years, maybe. I mean, hypothetically, he could. Realistically, probably not, given his health. But what I'm saying is this legacy thing could be related to his health. It could just be related to his age. But there's also a third thing it could be related to that honestly probably makes quite a bit of sense too. Ego. Donald Trump is a classic textbook narcissist. He wants things named after him because he's always named things after him. It's the Trump Organization. It's Trump Tower. It's the Trump Hotel and Casino. It's Trump, 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 Trump. He wants his name everywhere on everything. Trump Water, Trump Steaks, Trump University. So this is not, out of the ordinary for him. But if he does sense the end is near, which is evidenced, of course, by him repeatedly referring to wanting to get into heaven recently, then it also makes sense. So there's a lot of different things at play here. But if Rothkopf is correct and Trump is, in fact, in worse health than we know, but he knows it, that would definitely explain a lot about the way Trump is thinking right now. Scientists recently discovered a new evolutionary trait in puppies, and it's that they cannot grow up and reach their full potential unless you subscribe to this channel. Don't do it for me, folks. Do it for little Atlas and Judge here. Good boys. You do good. You want to say something? No? Okay.